Hello, my name is Samar. I also go by Sam or First Time Panner. Any of those you want to call me, you can. This will be another Get Ready With Me, and my last one that, if I'm uploading these correctly, my last Get Ready With Me was a Sephora, kind of like trying new Sephora products, or at least new to me. But, you know, Sephora and Ulta, they always like copy each other's sales. So Ulta's also having a sale right now with not the exact same type of sale, but pretty similar, and a lot of stuff either is sold out at Sephora or is not available at Sephora that you can get at Ulta. So I thought I would do an Ulta version of that video, especially because I do have a lot of stuff that was not featured in that video that I wanted to try and talk about, that is also sold at Ulta. So some of these will be high-end, some drugstore, some Ulta Beauty collection, but I'm really excited to get started. And just like last time, I'm starting with my Ultra Repair Cream. This is the Vanilla Latte scent. I actually bought this at Ulta. It was their holiday, or one of their holiday scents last year. I don't know if they're bringing it back, but I know you can always get the original version, and I'm pretty sure every year they do at least like some holiday scent. And then something else that I use every time I do my makeup is this I'm currently panning it. It's this Tony Moly lip balm in the like little blueberry version. So I'm just gonna start with that on my lips. And because this is the only one out of all of these like little Tony Moly lip balms that I've ever tried that actually has a tint to it, I tend to just use it before I do my makeup, because if I use it overnight, it'll definitely get on my pillow. So I always start my makeup with that lip balm. Okay, I realized I didn't have anything to like wipe my hands off on, so I just grabbed this microfiber cloth that I like put a little bit of water on. These are really great, by the way, for wiping off swatches, because I mean it's like what those makeup erasers are made of. And I have a feeling I'll be doing a lot of swatching in this video. So first, in my big makeup bag of products that I'm planning on using today, I'm gonna start with my eyeshadow primer. And I got this as like a free gift with purchase in some Ulta order I made. They always have like a bunch of little free minis. But this is the Matte Veil Eye Primer. I have actually heard a lot of really good things about this, but I just always use my Milani eyeshadow primer, and it takes me like 2 years to get through one of those. So I'd like never had an opportunity to try this out, but it was sent to me, so I may as well try it now. I don't exactly know how much of this I'm supposed to use. I've never, pretty much for the past 5 years, I've been using the same, like literally just the Milani eyeshadow primer. This is what it looks like when like you kind of spread it out on your fingers. It's weird. It's like, not weird, but it's just interesting. I'm assuming though, oh, this is like a little bit more tacky than the Milani one is. The Milani one is pretty much just, if you can hear that, that's Roxy playing in my closet. The Milani one is just pretty much dry. I'm assuming this one does dry down completely though, because it says matte in the name, but this is so interesting. I'm used to literally the exact same thing every day, again, for 5 years straight. I don't know exactly how long that's gonna take to dry down, but I'm just gonna wipe off my brushes. Oh, these are actually Ulta collection eyeshadow brushes. They come in like, I don't know if Ulta still sells this, but there's like a 4-pack of brushes. It's 2 face brushes and 2 eye brushes. I'm just gonna wipe them off on a tissue, nothing special or fancy. Even though this is not new at all, this came out like a year ago at least. This is new to me. I've never used it. I just bought it maybe like a month ago, so I am very excited to try this. This is of course the ABH Sugar palette that went completely viral last year. This is what it looks like. I at first was not interested in this or the Spice palette. Spoiler, I have both now. But like the more I looked at the color stories, I just thought like they looked really versatile and kind of pretty, especially for a winter look. Sorry, Roxy keeps distracting me because she wants attention. Even though it's not winter yet, I was just too excited to try this. So I don't think I'll be able to use all the shades in the video today unless I do like 2 different looks on my eyes. No, I'm not gonna do that. I think I'm gonna stick with my pink look I have going on, pink and sparkly. But I will swatch this because I mean, I haven't even touched the palette yet. And also, just in case you haven't seen this before, you can see what it looks like swatched out. Okay, I didn't even realize that this blue shade is like a duochrome. My lighting, I really need to like rearrange everything and maybe get a new ring light, because my lighting in the way I have it set up right now just literally never shows the shifts. But this blue is actually a duochrome. It's kind of like a, I don't know, lilac lavender shift to it, but you really can't see it. You also can't see it in the pan. So like, I'm kind of glad I swatched these before using them actually. But this is what it looks like. This the deepest shade, the last one in the palette, looks patchy in the swatch just because I had to swatch it over a little patch of like where my hand is healing from eczema, which again is why I always use Ultra Repair Cream. But just know, like, at least from my experience with ABH, I don't expect it to look as patchy on my eyes as it looks here. This is what this looks like just upside down. I think it's so pretty. What really drew me to this palette, despite I feel like this is kind of the opposite of what people have been looking for. I feel like usually people want to see something different and new. What I liked about this palette is the fact that it kind of looks like you can make some very easy colorful looks. Like you have a purple shimmer, and then you have a purple matte, and then you have a pink shimmer, and then you have these pink toned mattes. It just kind of made this palette a little bit more approachable to me, but also fun and colorful at the same time. So I'm thinking, okay, this like is still a tiny bit tacky. It definitely did not dry down all the way. Milani eyeshadow primer, which is also available at Ulta, that one does completely dry down like within 30 seconds. So I don't really know what they meant by matte, but we'll see how this works. I probably shouldn't be testing an eyeshadow primer and an eyeshadow palette at the same time, but this is what we're working with. I think I'll start with this second shade here. It's kind of like a mauvey, like powdery blush shade. I don't really know. I'm just gonna put it on my eyes. This clearly is not too much deeper than the skin on my eyelids, because that sounded so weird, the skin on my eyelids. But anyway, this is not showing up too much, but it is adding, like you can see it's there, it's adding a bit of color. Also, just like all ABH palettes, this does have some, I don't know if you can see in the pan, some kick up, but not too much. I'm gonna put this on my lower lash line. My mirror is below me. That's why I keep looking down, by the way. And then I'm just gonna do the exact same thing on the other eye. I mean, I wanna say that like, it's not patchy on top of this eyeshadow primer, but also this is like literally just a blush shade that is so close to my skin tone. I feel like it would be hard to look patchy on me anyway, especially because I am building it up. So that usually, if there's any patchiness, that kind of fixes it. So I can't really say anything about the eyeshadow primer, at least right now. But I'll put in the description box my final thoughts, and if this was like, if I notice any fading or creasing, I'll definitely mention that. Now with this slightly more pinpointed precise shade, I think I'm gonna see what this shade does, if it's like much deeper. I don't think it is, but I'm just gonna try. It also has glitter in it, so I kind of want to see if that glitter really transfers, because I do not like a matte with glitter, and there are two shades in this palette that are like that. But if like the glitter doesn't actually transfer onto my eyes, I'm fine with that. So I think I'm just gonna, I tapped off my brush a little bit. I think there are like a few specks of glitter, but it's not really showing up too much. And this is, I feel like, deep enough to be sort of an outer corner shade for this look. So I think just gonna stick with one. Like, I'm not gonna really add anything to it. And then just do the exact same thing on the other eye. That shade did have a bit more kick up than the first matte, and that usually tends to be the, I have like glitter on my eyelashes. That tends to be the case for those mattes with glitter, because they're just like, because of the glitter in there, they're not as tightly pressed, because the the shadow isn't like one uniform composition in there, so it doesn't press as like uniformly, so it is more prone to kick up. I feel like that was a long rambling mess, but basically that one does have more kick up in it. Just to deepen up my lower lash line, I'm gonna use this. This is technically available at Ulta, although it's not new at all, but this is the Tarte Quick Stick. I do not like using powder eyeshadows on my lower lash line because I feel like I always get eyeshadow in my eye when I do that, so I pretty much exclusively use either eyeshadow crayons or eyeliner pencils. So this one is in the shade Pewter. I think pewter is such a funny word. This one's in the shade Pewter Luster, and the like stick eyeliner is the shade Black. So just for reference, this is what that duo looks like. I'm gonna put the eyeshadow stick just like on the outer half of my lower lash line, and then I'll probably end up lining my eyes with this. Scratch that. I'm gonna use a brown eyeliner because I have a brown mascara. This is also not new to me, but this is just a staple. This is the NYX glitter primer, and I could just use these shades probably without a glitter primer. I'm sure they would stick just fine, but I like using this, and this is available at Ulta. I wiped off those swatches because I didn't want them to get on my clothes, but now I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna do like just a super basic look. I'm gonna take this pink and put it all over my lids, and then I might use that pink matte as an inner corner. I recently have been trying mattes as inner corners, so I'm trying to get used to it, but for I don't know why I'm like, I literally have a mirror right here. Oh, this is really pretty. It has like a tiny bit of purple, not a flip, but just the shade. At least when I put it on top of this matte, you can see a tiny bit of like a purple hue in the pink, and it's also just like incredibly sparkly, which I love. I did get a tiny bit of glitter, sorry my pinky cracked. I did get a tiny bit of glitter fallout from that, but I'm doing my eyeshadow first. That's why I always do my eyeshadow first, so I don't really have a problem with that. You know what, I think I was just like, I didn't really see the vision last year, and I might have been a little bit of a hater, because now that I'm using this, I can see why it was getting so much hype last year. This is really pretty, and like the fact that it's packed with so much glitter, I feel like it just, because the glitter is so fine, it's not like giant chunks of cheap glitter. It's like very fine glitter, and it's really pretty and just sparkly and twinkly on the eyes. Maybe I'll try to lower my light so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, I don't know if you can really see that on my eyes. It is so pretty. Okay, I forgot what lighting setting I was on previously, so sorry if it looks weird now. I'm gonna take this first eyeshadow brush that I use and just kind of like press it into the shade a few times, and then stamp it on my inner corner. I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest, but I'm hoping this doesn't look super crazy because I have stuff to do today, but don't know how much. I kind of just like am not a huge fan of matte inner corners in general, but I kind of wanted to use all the pinks in this palette today. As an inner corner, I don't think it looks horrible, but I am going to add just like a tiny bit more of that shimmer because I think the matte really did a good job at kind of being full coverage, and it just like covered everything. So I'm gonna re-up on my glitter. Finally, I'm gonna take this eyeshadow stick from e.l.f. This is like literally one of my favorite eyeshadow sticks in my entire collection. This is the No Budge Shadow Stick in the shade Rose Gold. This is, by the way, like this is not new at all. It's not new to me at all. I've had this for years and I love it, and I definitely would repurchase it if I ever like had to get rid of it. But you can use this for everything. I'm just putting it on like my lower lash line where that's like blank, where I didn't put the first eyeshadow stick. But like I use this as a one and done all the time, and it looks so pretty, and it gives you that like kind of clean yet glowy sparkly look on your eyes, and it literally goes with everything. I'm gonna try my best to take that silver shade just on the very tip of my pinky, like super small surface area because I'm not good at doing this with my fingers, but I don't have any pencil brushes clean. And I'm gonna just try to stamp it right here. That was not as clean and perfected as I thought it would be, but I'm still gonna do the same on the other side. I feel like that was the little something that I was missing, because the inner corner just felt weird being all matte for me, especially with like so much glitter everywhere else, and I think that really tied it together. So I'm very happy with this. I think it looks amazing. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna use a dark brown mascara. So just to line my eyes, I'm gonna use this Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Demolition, which is just like their deepest matte brown. Okay, I don't want to scratch my eye and this really needs sharpening, so I'm just gonna, much better. And yes, this was a full size. Like, I swear I do actually use this. My favorite eyeliner pencil would be by far the Pat McGrath ones. They're so good, but I kind of want to get this used up because it's older. Eyes are done. Moving on to the face, I'm going to start with primer, and this is the Matte Veil Face Primer, so I guess it's like just the face version of that eye primer I used. Hopefully this one doesn't stay as tacky. Okay, I need to actually take the seal off before I can use this. I have no idea how much I'm supposed to use, so hopefully I don't put too much. Okay, it doesn't really smell like, oh, it kind of smells like, if you remember like back in the day, like 2000s slime, like putty slime, that's what it smells like. Not bad in my opinion. I don't know, I feel like I keep saying weird things in this video. But yeah, this is definitely just a silicone primer. I can already tell that my skin does look more blurred, which is like how silicone works. So this is not only going to be mattifying but also blurring and pore filling. The scoop, according to the back of this, is helps reduce shine, giving a soft focus effect. Can be worn alone for a smoother, shine-free complexion. Okay, yeah, I definitely, so far I agree with their claims, but it's like literally just a basic silicone primer. Now I have this, it's a little sample, but this is from Tula. It's the, can't remember the exact name, Protect, maybe, I don't really know, I'll put it on the screen. It's in that yellow bottle. It's the one with sunscreen, and this is just supposed to be like a glowy base product. So, and again, I've never tried this, but usually I like to put something glowy on top of, if I have like a super mattifying primer, I like to put something glowy on top, just because I have combo skin and things can start looking too dry if I use products, like dry products, on top of a dry product. Okay, this was like exceptionally difficult to open, but this is just what it looks like in there, and I think I'm gonna use the entire thing. We'll see whether or not that's too much or not enough. Oh, what is this? They're like little globs in here. I don't know if that's on purpose, but that kind of feels like that would be weird to do on purpose, but it's like coagulating in there. But this gives like a pearlescent glow, at least on my hands. I don't know what this is gonna do to my face, but I kind of want the sunscreen anyway. It does smell like sunscreen. Oh, there's one of the little globs. I'll probably just like rub it into my skin. I don't really know how these primers are gonna interact with each other, because again, these are first impressions. I haven't tried, most of these products are new to me. I don't think I would wear something this glowy and kind of oily on its own, so I'm hoping that it, you know, plays well with a mattifying primer. I'm planning on using a powder as my like foundation, and I also don't have a concealer from Ulta that I haven't tried before, but something that, if I've tried this before, I literally don't remember trying it. But this is the e.l.f. Camo color corrector. So it's not a concealer, but oftentimes I will just use color corrector in lieu of concealer. So a lot of the time I use them both, or I have the NYX color correcting concealer hybrids. But I'm gonna just put this on my under eyes and then go in with the powder on top and see exactly what this does, like if it's enough of a color corrector for me. This is the shade Peach. Okay, it's Peach. I don't know why I just smelled that, but I felt like I wanted to. Okay, yeah. I don't know exactly how much I'm supposed to be putting on, so I'm just gonna use like everything that's on the doe foot, taking it out. Like I'm so bad with my words. I'm not gonna dip back in. And my beauty blender is not clean and I haven't washed it in like 3 days, so I'm not gonna use that. But I do have this like paddle brush that I'll use to kind of just like stamp it in and kind of like pinpoint it to exactly where I want it, and then I'll probably go in with my fingers after. This is definitely more viscous than I thought it would be. It's not like super thick, but I was expecting it to be kind of like thin and runny, which I did not want. So that's like a pleasant surprise actually. Okay, I don't know exactly how well that did for correcting everything. It kind of, I usually use something more yellow tone than peachy because I feel like I do have very, very yellow undertones, and peachy correctors tend to just look more pink on me, which I feel like this one, like the pink is definitely coming out of the peach in this. Maybe I'll try putting the powder on top and see if it like covers the pink up. I'll have to like go back in the video to see the comparison like for the before and after for my dark circles, but you let me know what you think. So for my face powder, bear with me. I'm gonna use a combination of a face powder and a bronzer from this palette. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Dream Team. I previously never used to buy from this brand, but I tried out their like cream cheek stick duos recently and I did really like them. And I also love a face palette. I have way too many of them, but this was like the first one I ever saw from the brand that had shades that I thought would actually work for me. The only thing is this bronzer would definitely be way too light for me, and this face powder would also be too light for me, but I think if I mix them together, they should work out. This whole thing is going to be trial and error. It's like a first impression, so we'll just see how this goes. But here's a little peeling action for you. Oh wow, that smells, I'm assuming this is what the butter bronzer smells like. It kind of smells like sunscreen, like coconutty sunscreen. The powder brush I usually use is this one from Sonia Kashuk, but I think that might be a little too big. I'm just gonna use this like more fluffy one. Hopefully that'll also make it a lot less concentrated, because again, I don't know how this is gonna work out. But I'm just gonna mix this one, which is called the Muru, I'm bad at saying words, Muru butter bronzer, which is this one here, and then the Butter Believe It exclamation point face powder. This is what that bronzer looks like. So, oh, that is kind of glowy. Oh, so that's what that looks like. And then this is what when I like mix the face powder together, that's what it looks like. I guess that's why they put the word matte stamped into this one, because that first bronzer is not matte at all. So maybe this will be like kind of a glowy finishing powder on my face too, but I'm just gonna mix those two powders together and I don't know, start with my eyes, my under eyes. That seems to, I don't know, what do you think? That seems to work fine, but I'll just try it on this one now. And I think that did help to kind of at least fade the edges of where that color corrector was, because now I can't really see like, oh, this part of my under eye looks kind of pink. It kind of just all looks like melded together now. So yeah, I really actually like that combination for my face. I think I'm gonna put this on the entirety of the rest of my face, and I'm not using a light hand like this. I'm going back and forth like this every time I dip my brush in, so I would say this isn't super thick like a MAC powder foundation. That is very thick and heavy, but this worked pretty well in my under eyes, and like even though I do look mattified, my skin doesn't really look heavy, but I definitely can smell that, like, I guess that butter bronzer smell, and it's not my favorite. I don't really like coconut scents, especially like coconut sunscreen. So hopefully that goes away after a while. This is what, oh, hopefully I don't go over the face powder. This is what the bronzer looks like. I'll build it up with like one more layer, but I'm thinking this should be deep enough to show up on my skin tone. This highlighter is very, very pigmented. I think I'm just gonna like stamp it right here and then blend that out. This is extremely golden. If you have cool undertones, I don't think, I mean, I can't speak for you, but I don't think you would like this highlighter. But this is the Matte Manoi bronzer, and then this is the Muru butter highlighter. Then I'll probably end up using this one because it looks more pigmented, but this is the Muru butter blush, which is very, very glowy. And then this one's the Butter Believe It exclamation point blush, which I think it has like a tiny bit of a glow to it, but it's mostly matte. This is what the palette looks like swatched out. I probably should have done this earlier. I'm just gonna dip into this matte bronzer. I don't know why I'm holding it so awkwardly. This video is a mess, just like all my other videos. But yeah, you can see that. Let's see if I can build it up a little bit. I don't know if it's just because I'm like wearing pink already, but I feel like this bronzer has like a tiny bit of pink in it. And again, I have very yellow undertones, but I really don't think, like, this is already 2 layers of bronzer and you can see it, but it's pretty faint. I don't think this would work for me in the summer when I feel like this palette, okay, someone was in a hurry. I don't think this palette would work for me in the summer, which is when this palette came out. I've had this sitting in my collection for quite a while. Now I'm gonna go into this extremely pigmented, extremely gold highlighter and tap off my brush a tiny bit. I don't know who that is. I'm gonna, okay, that's not as scary as I thought. So I'm gonna do a second layer, again, just like tap of my brush. This definitely is a golden highlight though. Like, even with that first layer, you could tell that it was pretty yellow toned. So I feel like they probably should have made it a little bit more neutral to suit more skin tones. But I guess this did come out in summer, so they wanted everyone to be like a golden goddess or something. I don't know. Probably not the best shade of highlight to go with what's on my eyes, but too bad. I think I'm just gonna build one more layer of highlight on each side because I just realized I forgot to put my blush on, and I usually put my highlight on after my blush because I tend to like really scrub and buff my blush into my cheeks, so I don't want the highlight to fade. Now I'm gonna use this e.l.f. buffing foundation brush. Like, I mean it when I say I buff my blush into my face. But I'm pretty sure you can, like, I think this brush is still made, so you can get it at Sephora. I think I'll actually, I thought I was gonna only use this blush, but I think I'll start with this one just to see like what all I can get from it. And not much, but I think like if I was trying to go for a super subtle blush look, this would probably be a really good go-to. It also does have a bit of glow in it. I think this like peachy stripe in the middle does have a bit of glow, and I think that's where it's coming from. I'm just gonna put this on the other side, buff it into my face. This blush actually turned out not peachy, but it's kind of like, it has a bit of a coral undertone, I think because of that strip in the middle. But I kind of want my blush to match my eyes more, so I will actually use this, what is this? The Muru butter blush. I'm just gonna tap in once because again, this is more pigmented and deeper. I think that does go a lot better with my eye look. It's like basically a mauve tone blush. And I'm just gonna do the same thing on this side. But that's the, what is this called? The Dream Team Butter Face Palette from Physicians Formula. Goodness. I still feel like I can feel that glowy sunscreen primer through the powder. So I'm gonna have to see how that lasts because technically this one was an actual face powder, so I feel like it should be able to set my primer. So I'll let you know again, like my final thoughts in the description box at the end of the day. I already use this in my Sephora video, but I don't really have a new setting spray. This is the Tarte LifeLock Hydrating Setting Spray, and it says to shake well, so that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully this being a hydrating setting spray won't mess with my base, because again, I already still feel like slightly tacky and not fully set on my entire face. I'm mattified, but I'm not like fully set, I think. So hopefully this doesn't make the situation worse. I really like the sprayer on that. Oh, I totally forgot. I got this Revlon like super lustrous shine lipstick in the shade Pink Flip, I think, or not a lipstick, it's supposed to be like a lip balm, and I was gonna try it today. So I'm gonna wipe off that Tony Moly one. This video is all over the place, but I kind of want to see if this is actually hydrating at all. So in the next 10 minutes, will this dry out my lips? Yeah, it literally just feels like a lip balm, and it added absolutely no color, so perfect. Now I'm gonna do just my everyday brow routine, which is starting with the Maybelline Express Brow Fast Sculpt Mascara. This will set your brows literally all day. It's like one of the strongest holds ever, and I need a strong hold because my like fur in my eyelashes. My brow hairs are unruly. Like, I'm sorry you've had to, I haven't touched them up in a long time. I'm sorry you've had to see that this whole time. Then once everything dries down, I go in with my brow pen from Urban Decay, literally just the brow pen side. I like barely use the pencil, but it just adds, I think the shade is, I'm not gonna bother like looking for it, but I think the shade is deep brown. I kind of always just use like the deepest brown shade for every brow product I get, and I just use the like longer side of bristles just to kind of do like a quick comb through of my brows, because I don't want too much product on my brow hairs. I don't know. Then again, I immediately go in with my clear brow gel. It could be any clear brow gel, but this is just the one that I'm using now. And again, I use the longer side of the bristles just to kind of like make it look a little bit more natural. It doesn't even need to have like a bunch of product on it, but I kind of just like to comb through my brows with something, just so if I get too much product anywhere, I can kind of wipe it off. While that's drying, I'm gonna try out this new mascara, also from Maybelline. This is called I don't know if this is new or not. I saw it at Target one day and I had never seen it before, but it was on sale. This, I guess, is like, it says Lash Sensational here, but it's called Firework mascara. I don't know, that's all the packaging says. But this is in the shade brownish black. I don't know, I got it because like the before and after pictures looked pretty nice, so hopefully it lives up to that. Oh, this is like very bendy, and it's all synthetic bristles, and the bristles are very, very short. And my mirror is very, very far away from me, and I also get very, very self-conscious when doing my mascara on camera, because I usually make some really crazy faces. Go check out my last video, because I did like my full mascara routine on camera in that Sephora video, and that was even me like trying to look normal for the camera, and I just couldn't. I'm gonna do my lower lashes off screen because I really have to hunch over. Okay, this is one coat of the mascara. It looks good, but it kind of just looks like any other Maybelline mascara. Like, the formula that they have for most of their mascaras is kind of like more on the wet side, and they usually have synthetic brushes. And you pretty much always get this exact same effect. So, I mean, it's fine. Just did the other eye off camera, and I think my brow should be dry enough by now. But again, this is the Urban Decay Brow Blade. It has a pencil, like a brow pencil on one side, and then it has a brow pen on the other side. I pretty much, again, only use the brow pen because my brow routine doesn't really need a pencil anymore, and I kind of just fill in like any gaps, and then usually like the tail of my brow needs a little bit of help. But if you're someone who does like a brow pencil and a brow pen, then I do highly recommend this because it's a pretty good brow pencil, and it's one of those like micro brow pencils, so you can be pretty precise with it. I've had this open for a long time, so my brow pen is slowly dying on me, but that's what I do for my brows every single day. Last step in my routine is lips, and for that I kind of wanted to try this Fenty Beauty. This is like their holiday lips, or one of their many holiday lip sets. This is the Glossy Posse 8. I guess this is like the 8th year in a row they've done this maybe. It's a 3-piece lip luminizer set. So it just has like, okay, I guess they're called different things. It has a regular gloss bomb, which I think might be like one of her limited edition holiday shades. This is in Fenty Glow Fantasy. And then it has Gloss Bomb Stacks, which is her layered shades that has like 3 layers of gloss, but they all end up being mixed together anyway. And that is in the shade Sugar Plums and Spiked Hot Chocolate. I think I'll definitely end up using this one in the middle on my lips, but I kind of want to swatch all 3 of them just to, sorry, the camera was shaking. I want to swatch all 3 just to see what they look like, because all 3 of these are new to my collection, and I don't know if, I think this Fenty Glow Fantasy is an old shade, like she's had this in previous holiday sets, but I think these 2 might be new. Okay, I've never used one of these stacked shades, so kind of want to see like what it looks like when I pull it out of the tube. Oh, it mostly has that deep shade on the bottom because like the doe foot was sitting in that deep shade the whole time. This is what I did my best, and I tried to mix all 3 together, but this is what that looks like. I think it'll go decently with my eye look. Then we have the Spiked Hot Chocolate. Let's see. Yeah, it's the same thing where it was like the doe foot was sitting in this deepest shade, so that's mostly what it has on it. So I'm gonna try to get the other 2 on the doe foot and just mix them together. That's what it looks like. It kind of just looks like a slightly lighter version of Hot Chocolate. I just wiped off that lip balm, and again I'm gonna take this Sugar Plum shade and do my absolute best to get an even coat of all 3 on here. And oh, that's so pretty. I don't have many pink glosses in my collection. Despite this eye look, I don't tend to wear pink too often, but that is really pretty, and it kind of really came in handy because again, I probably wouldn't have had anything to wear with this. And again, this is what all 3 shades look like swatched out. So if this set looks interesting to you, I would say get it while you can, especially now that it's on sale. I think she usually releases these special like fantasy shades only during the holidays, and sometimes she doesn't bring them back. But I've been filming for over an hour, so I'm gonna end the video here and actually start my day now. But thank you. Sorry, this necklace is bothering me. But always remember to shop responsibly. Just because something's on sale doesn't mean you need it. But if there's something that you've had your eye on, especially if it's one of these products and you kind of didn't know how they would apply, or you were on the fence, I would say make sure to get it while it's on sale. Don't let this sale go to waste. Ulta will probably have another sale before the end of the year, but the one that's going on now as I'm filming this ends on the 11th, and you never know when things are going to sell out. So all that being said, that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Until then, I hope you have a great day. Bye.